How does someone completely vanish? That's a question Johnstown police have been trying to answer 13 years since a 35-year-old woman left work one evening and was never seen again. In my latest Cold Case 13 investigation, I was able to uncover new information and spoke with the missing woman's daughter, the first interview she's ever done about her mother's case. Here's a look ahead at tonight's special report, the disappearance of Kellisue Ackernecht. September 30th, 2008, just another Tuesday night for 35-year-old Kellisue Ackernecht. Around 9:30, she finished her shift at the Rite Aid in Amsterdam and walked out with a coworker. Kellisue has not been seen since. Johnstown Police Chief David Gilbo was the head of the investigative division at the time.
The first scenario we were going on is that she left the city of Johnstown alive.
Around 2 a.m. the next morning, Kellisue's car was found on fire about 4 blocks from her home in Johnstown. No purse, no phone, no evidence of a struggle or abduction. No sign of Kellisue. In a time span as little as 3 hours, she just vanished.
Correct.
Kellisue was married, unhappily. At the time of her disappearance, she had an 8-year-old daughter she adored. Ashley, now 21, spoke with us recently, the first time she has ever done an interview about her mother's disappearance.
I remember crying. I remember just being confused.
Tonight, starting live at 5:30, we'll hear more from Ashley and dive into the police investigation and the focus on her father.
I don't speak to my dad anymore.
We'll uncover how that fire likely started, the secret or not-so-secret boyfriends Kellisue had, and try to determine if she had left on her own or was the victim of foul play.
I personally like to believe that my mom will come back. It's just been a really long time, so it's hard to, really believe that still.
In tonight's Cold Case 13 report, the mystery of an area wife and mother who vanished. Jerry Gretzinger uncovered new video and information never before shared with the public that police and family members hope will finally help solve the 13-year-old mystery, the disappearance of Kellisue Ackernecht.
On the morning of October 1st, 2008, a Johnstown police officer on patrol made an unusual discovery. A car on fire in a remote area known as Frog Hollow. The car had been burning for some time. The owners, Jason and Kellisue Ackernecht, lived about 4 blocks away.
I had a really bad feeling something was not right.
Kim Ackernecht, Jason's sister, lived across the street from them. She says Kellisue, who was 35 at the time, had taken the car to work at Rite Aid in Amsterdam the day before and thought it was strange when she never saw her come home.
Where is Kelly? This is not right, Something's not right.
Kellisue walked out of the Rite Aid with a coworker around 9:30 that night. The coworker saw her drive off, and that was it. When the car was found, there was nothing inside it, no signs of a struggle, no purse, nothing to help find Kellisue.
The vehicle is right pretty much where he's at.
Chief David Gilbo was the head of the investigative unit at the time and immediately searched the home she shared with her husband and in-law.
We were looking for any remnants of a body being, destroyed.
They found nothing. That afternoon, Gilbo was there as Jason Ackernecht broke the news to his 8-year-old daughter, Ashley.
I was like, what's going on? And, he ended up saying, Mommy's missing. And he just started crying. I don't know if he talks to him or not, I don't.
Now 21, Ashley has never before spoken publicly about her mother's disappearance. She says she at least wants to know what happened to her mother, since she never got to know much else.
I wish I could tell you about my mom, Jerry. That's one of the things that really sucks, is that I was 8, and my mom worked all the time, to make sure that I was good and that I had what I needed.
The memory of that sad 8-year-old girl and watching her grow up without a mother still fuels Gilbo and his determination to solve the case. He heard from one resident who recalled looking out their window the night of September 30th across a large field next to Frog Hollow and seeing a parked car with its headlights shining towards their home. Kellisue's car had been facing the opposite direction. It would make you think there had to have been a second vehicle.
Right.
Another neighbor who lives even closer didn't see anything, but heard something.
She thought she heard was like a gunshot, and then like 5 or 6 minutes later, another gunshot.
Then there was the fire in Kellisue's car. No one claims to have seen it, including one of the people who lived closest to it, a man who knew Kellisue, a relative of her husband, Jason. What was their relationship like, him and Kellisue?
He didn't particularly care for Kellisue.
Add to the mix that Jason Ackernecht had been a volunteer firefighter, and a theory emerged even family members could not ignore.
My feelings are my brother wouldn't carry out the thing, but he has some knowledge of what happened. So he knows, I think he knows something. He just not telling.
Coming up at 6, never-before-seen video of how police recreated the burning of Kellisue's car and what they learned from it. Kellisue's secret life uncovered by the investigation, and Jason Ackernecht's response when we asked to speak with him. Jason.
Speaking.
Jason Ackernecht, hi. With Cold Case 13, I'm Jerry Gretzinger.
Was a Fulton County mother the victim of foul play, or is there another explanation for the disappearance of Kellisue Ackernecht?
Well, police say they're no closer to an answer today than they were 13 years ago. And that's why they've shared more information than ever before with Jerry Gretzinger. Here's the conclusion of his Cold Case 13 report, the disappearance of Kellisue Ackernecht.
For most of the past 13 years, the public, even police, looked hard at Jason Ackernecht, assuming he had something to do with his wife Kellisue's disappearance. Her car had been burned. He'd been a volunteer firefighter. The vehicle was found near Jason's uncle's house. Even his relationship with his daughter suggested something was not right.
I was afraid he would try to harm me.
Ashley Ackernecht was 8 when her mother disappeared. She says her father grew combative and she needed a restraining order to feel safe.
I don't speak to my dad anymore.
I asked her if she thought her father did something to make her mother disappear.
I'm convinced that if he did, he didn't do it by himself.
So you haven't ruled that possibility out?
No.
Everything that pointed to Jason was circumstantial, so police looked deeper, starting with the car fire. Many assumed it was arson, an attempt to destroy evidence, but there was another explanation. Johnstown Police Chief David Gilbo discovered Kellisue's car, a 1998 Saturn, had been overheating. Kellisue and Jason had been trying to get it fixed. Police staged 2 controlled burns of similar vehicles to observe and compare burn patterns, and although not officially ruled out,
There's nothing about that car burning that meets our arson triangle.
people who lived near where the car was found reported hearing gunshots the night Kellisue disappeared. The controlled burns explained that too.
And the tires blow. And it's a scary thing if you're around it, because you don't know what's happening.
Still unexplained, the second set of headlights seen in Frog Hollow the night Kellisue disappeared.
Somebody had to pick her up. Somebody had to let her in.
Gilbo discovered both Kellisue and Jason had been unfaithful. Kellisue used to regularly meet men after work. He found letters, ones she had written to and received from other men. At least one included plans to leave her husband, but not disappear.
If she was going to do it, she'd do it, get her situation straight first, and then go back for Ashley.
Several former lovers have been interviewed. None have been named a suspect. It all makes it seem less likely that Jason Ackernecht had something to do with his wife's disappearance. I tried to do a sit-down interview with him, but he declined. Then, just before our story was scheduled to air, he agreed to speak to me on the phone. Did you kill Kellisue Ackernecht?
I had nothing to do with it. Not at all.
Did you have anything to do at all with her disappearance, or do you know what happened?
I have no clue. I think she just took off and started her life over again.
Chief Gilbo says Jason has always cooperated and done everything he's ever asked of him, but he's still not officially off the hook.
And I'm not saying he's not involved. I'm not saying he is involved.
Was Kellisue the victim of foul play, or did she just leave? There is no perfect answer for Ashley.
You know, I'm not necessarily looking for a happy ending anymore, but more just an ending.
If you'd like to hear the rest of my conversation with Jason Ackernecht, look for the case file on this story at WNYT.com. He did share some new information with us that we've shared with the police chief, so you can expect a follow-up report. And if you know anything about what happened to Kellisue Ackernecht, contact Johnstown Police or email coldcase13@WNYT.com. I'm Jerry Gretzinger.